All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? How's it going? It's Els here, bringing you a quick video. I saw this posted on the forums. I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Wanted to talk about Somerset in general because there's been some stuff released by Alcast. A few things came out on the Reddit pages, so there's new changes coming. If you guys haven't watched it, I would definitely recommend going to check out Alcast's latest video. Just keep in mind in general when you read this stuff, this is pre-PTS. Like the stuff that they're discussing is pre-PTS. It might not even make it to PTS, and the stuff then is tested in PTS, and it's changed dramatically if it's, more often than not, if it's overperforming or underperforming. So a lot is coming down the pipeline is basically all I'm going to say. So we're going to go through this, and then we're going to talk about a few of the other things I saw, and then, just in general, what's going to happen with Somerset in general, and, kind of what this channel is going to do to keep you guys updated. So here's some news about Cyrodiil for Update 18, the Somerset update. There are more things coming for the update besides what is listed here, and we'll detail those in the coming months, but here's a start. Server performance. Several requirements that were part of ability passes have been converted to the server-side encoded checks, which will cut down requirements ran per ability use. Client performance. We've increased the amount of CPU cores used by the client, which should improve frame rate for players on mid to high-end CPUs on PC platforms. On consoles and PC, we have improved how characters are composited, resulting in faster character loads and less frame rate spikes. Okay, well, that's good changes. I guess we'll have to see how that goes because, yeah, characters loading are kind of an issue right now. So you come into a keep and you think it's like two people, and all of a sudden you're in the middle of a Zerg. So that would be nice. These are the big things, though. Defense ticks no longer require you to sit and wait in an objective for the tick. Instead, each type of objective will track whether you've earned credit towards a defense or offensive tick. Earning the offense or defense tick is pretty easy, and you earn credit for pretty much everything except standing there doing nothing. Offense ticks still have a base value that will be granted regardless of being on the credit list, but any bonus AP earned by combat around and inside the objective will only be granted to players that are on the credit list. So those people that are experts at getting to each resource and getting in the area for the ticks, if they didn't participate, they do not get them anymore. So I think that's a pretty good change for PvP in general. I think that it's not going to stop the mob mentality, obviously, but if you're not getting the benefits, you're going to go do other things. So I'm excited to see more about this in general because, I think this is a very good change. I actually kind of discussed this a couple months ago when I was talking about ways to improve PvP in general. So this is a very good idea that I like quite a bit. You can be on several credit lists for a keep, superstructure of a keep, mine, lumber mill, and farm. So they're calling a superstructure everything around that keep. So the 3 resources plus the keep. And earn defense ticks for each of them. However, if you defend or attack a new keep superstructure, your credit will be removed. So if you get a bunch of defense tick stuff for, Blue Road, and then you go over to Ayleswell, and you attack Ayleswell before those ticks go off, then you don't get them anymore, is basically what it's saying. On top of that, we've increased the amount of alliance points you can earn from a keep defense with a multiplier based on the lowest ranking resource of that keep. This is meant to encourage defending the entire superstructure of a keep and its supporting structures. This is a cool idea for defense ticks and stuff. I could definitely see a few organized guilds really controlling some very controversial parts of the map. Blue Road Keep comes to mind, Alessia, stuff like that. If they're increasing defensive ticks, you might see people defending more. Right now, it's just a rotating list of people just attacking for O-ticks because O-ticks are just so much better. And there's no real defense applied in general. 50 people go to one keep, and there's not much you can do to defend against it. And so I think these 2 changes are pretty good. I think it'll kind of stop. Like, you have to participate to get a good chunk of the tick, and if you don't, then you don't get it, and then you kind of have to move on to somewhere else. And then people get more incentive for defending, and if they defend the resources with it, they'll get even more AP. AP is the name of the game. All right. Lastly, regarding keeps themselves, we've added a new keep upgrade to more defensive siege weapons. The higher the keep levels are in wood, food, and ore, the more siege weapons defenders can place. This is a cool idea. I think this is a really cool idea. I think you know, as it stands right now, you know, PvP topside is, you know, Zerg shows up. Zerg shows up at front door. Within 20 seconds, the door is at 50%. Nobody gets there. The first door is down. Nobody can really, you know, counteract that. Now you could potentially, you know, if you can call it out in time and get people there, you know, you can have a lot of people stacking 3 siege at a time and just hitting this group in the front. And you can really put a lot of pressure on people with siege. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Like, how many oils can you set up? How much siege can you set up in an area? But I think those are good changes, because the way it currently stands, you can have a full wall with capped siege, and there's just still too many people outside for it to really make a difference. Like, it just, I don't know, just too much. So new daily quests have been added with the new quest board. These quests will grant Cyrodiil exclusive costume pieces and other goodies. All right, so Cyrodiil gets their own stuff. Pretty cool. Underpopulation and underdog evaluation periods have been drastically reduced. This will result in scoring adjustments being applied more frequently depending on population and scoring within shorter time periods. Alrighty. Monster guards and CP-enabled campaigns have learned how to deal with CP-enabled characters. They will be a bit harder to kill and hit a bit harder. Okay. So it's not that they're hard to kill. It's just that guards in general are a pain in the ass if you're a Magicka class. Like, I hate going to take a resource on like my Magicka Nightblade or Magicka Sork, and I get bubbled, and then all my attacks are being reflected, and then I get CC'd with CC immunity, and then I get put on the ground, and then I dodge roll, and then I get put on the ground immediately because they ignore CC immunity, and then I get bubbled again. And so it's just a huge pain in the ass to deal with. So now they're going to hit harder. So yeah, beware. Catapults now have their area damage stick around in the world for a period of time after impacting, resulting in area denial. Ballista have been rebalanced to do more damage versus siege weapons, and damage versus players has been reduced. Okay. There's more info for Cyrodiil and update 18 coming in the next few months, but until then, we will see you in the war. All right, so it's good to know that they're actually looking at PvP. I think these changes are good. Obviously, these are just small changes, but I think they're good. I think these are things that kind of needed to have happen. It'll be interesting to see what the rest of them are going to be. Obviously, like, this is like a way too early sneak preview that they didn't even have to post, but it's really cool of them. Really cool of Brian Wheeler to come out there and keep the community informed. I think it's awesome. So the more we can get for this, the better. Now, on top of that, there have been some changes. You know, I saw it on Reddit. I saw it on Outcast video. One of the biggest changes coming to Somerset Isles is the change to two-handed weapons. You know, it's not just the jewelry. It's the change to two-handed weapons. And, you know, we'll have to see if it's actually true. But, you know, I believe those people. You know, I believe the information that they're getting. So, but basically what they're saying is two-handed weapons will now count as 2 armor slots. So if you're wearing a two-handed greatsword of Hunting's Rage, you get the first 2 pieces, you know. So two-handed bow is the same thing. A bow is two-handed, so it's same as wearing dual wield on both bars. Basically, you get 2 slots. So what this means is it opens the possibility for a lot of unique builds. You know, no longer is like sword and board and dual wield, you know, the way to get 2 5-piece monster sets or 5-piece sets plus a monster set. You know, now you can get that with just a resto and an inferno staff, or a two-hander and a bow. Kind of crazy. You know, it's going to buff a lot of builds quite a bit. You know, as an example, my Sork, which I already think is ridiculously strong, is going to get a lot stronger because I can run, you know, 3 body Twiceborn. I can run the resto, and I can run the Destro, and then I have the 5-piece on both bars, so I can fit another 5-piece set, and I can wear a monster set. So it's just going to, it's going to be crazy. And so I'm not saying that's a bad change. I honestly have been waiting for that for a while. I think it makes sense. It's a two-handed. You're using both of your hands to use the weapon. You know, apparently that's what it's saying. So it makes sense that it has the same applications as a 2-piece set. But what that means is, what my concern is with this is when they come out with these 6 new jewelry traits, when they come out with these changes, when they allow you to craft jewelry, you know, this is the same. I'm not trying to like scare anybody or anything like that, but this is the same thing that they did during Homestead. You know, when they came out with all these armor sets and they came out with all these things at the same time, you know, it left for a lot of imbalance and things were really messed up for a while. And so when all of a sudden you can have, you know, as an example on my Sork, you can have Twiceborn Star and Shacklebreaker, and you can have these new jewelry traits, and we'll see what they are. It's going to lead to potentially lead to some imbalance. You know, there are going to be some very strong sets that are very good at very specific things. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if there are some very nasty gank builds coming out. That Bloodthirsty trait they showed in the video that I sent out earlier, where it does more execute damage at low health. You just have to run a couple sets, you know, like my Magic and Nightblade build that I have, where my concealed weapon basically puts somebody in execute range. If I run a Bloodthirsty trait with that, it's, you know, I hit 3 skills and you're dead. I'm a little... I don't want to go back to that, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I enjoy ganking. I think it's fun. I think it's kind of funny. Like, whether I gank or get ganked, it doesn't really bother me, you know? But at the same time, there's no real counterplay, and I get that it really upsets the community, and I understand that that doesn't need to exist. They've already come out and, like, made changes for that, and I think all these different changes could definitely bring some of those back into the fold. So, anyway, my long-winded point with all this is, you know, I will be doing the PTS. I will be posting a bunch of videos. I might even just stream the PTS, and we'll just do whatever everybody wants to do. Everybody that loves the theory craft, and, you know, you want to, you know, say, hey, try this out, try this out, try this out. And we'll just test sets, and we'll nerd it up, and we'll try and figure some stuff out. That's kind of what I like the most, to be honest. Like, I just love figuring things like that out. So, PTS is going to be a good time. Hopefully you guys tune in, and as I get more updates, I will post them for you guys. Like I said, go check out Alcast's video. He got a lot of information. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about what he talked about, because I don't want to leech off of his information. That's his stuff. But, you know, I did see the two-handed weapon stuff in like 3 or 4 different places, on Reddit, on the Facebook page, on his. So it seems to be that that's a thing. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a nice day.